All right, give me a second here, y'all. Hopefully that works now. Not sure what's going on. There we go. Yeah, it takes a hot second for this to come up. There we go. Yeah, technology's been kicking my butt for sure because, man. Anyway, happy day. It's been a week. Let's put it that way. And, it's like there's just so much. I don't even know where to start. I usually get, yeah, it's telling me I need my touch ID here to get in. All right. So stuff started coming in January 7th. I'm going to give a wee bit of background on this. I have a really good doctor, traditional doctor from the outside, from the inside, if you're one of his patients. He is, I can't say he's non-traditional, but he's kept me off of medication. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So I'm sticking with this man. Anyway, I don't know why it's doing that for me. He he prescribed something called methylene blue, and I mixed my own. And what ended up happening was I try to get every last little drop out of everything. I mean, I have this toothpaste tube that's like squinched down to the bottom and it takes two hands. I have to lay the toothbrush down. I'm squinching the bottom, the container down and, trying to get a little bit on there to brush my teeth. So, yeah. So anyway, so I had this bottle and I put a little bit of water in it and I swished it around thinking I'm going to get the last little bit of dregs, but I hadn't realized that it was a fresh bottle. And yeah, so methylene blue, you can look it up and see what it is. It's supposed to help with cognition. However, I think it drops a lot of the shields that you might have as far as, sorry, the camera looks like it's twitching. It's kind of interesting because I am a pretty laid back, chill out kind of human at work. You got to deal with a lot of people dealing with a lot of trauma. So I supervise, I think there's like 12 or 15 staff, something like that. And when I went in on Monday, I was on the war path, and that's not me, but I kept saying the gloves are off. Man, were they. I ended up apologizing to all of my staff because some of them weren't there on that Tuesday. I apologized to everybody on Wednesday, and it was good. They all say that, things happen for a reason, and I think that that was it. That was for me to be able to be vulnerable with staff and also realizing that being vulnerable isn't so vulnerable after all. That vulnerability that we see or that we think that's like, I can't do that, they'll take advantage of me. It's like, no, I think, and it wasn't planned. It's not like I did some psych out on them. It was legit, but I feel like I gained a lot of respect by being transparent and also showing that humbleness. Just pardon my finger. Just trying to make sure that screen is clear. And I don't know why this thing is like, eh, eh. So sorry about that. Anyway, um, so yeah, that was the whole thing. That this, I believe, was something that was planned because it was right at the end of a vacation I had. I went back to work on the 6th and went on that war path. Everything was blue. My lip was blue. My tongue was like this royal blue. My teeth were blue. I mean, both ends were blue because it made me sick. So it's all cleared up now and everything is like I'm back to my Zen self again. Don't know if I'm going to take methylene blue for a while because I think I probably had about a couple of weeks in there that I ingested. Man, I was scrubbing my tongue and brushing my teeth. I had to change the toothbrush. Change the toothbrush totally blue. So that being said, even though that felt like it was negative, I feel like I could identify that as a positive manifestation. So, if you want to have positive manifestations in your life, you have to clean up the negative and get rid of that and out of the way. If you want to call it shadow work, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, don't know. All you have to do is, if you can't do it yourself, is find somebody that you trust and you're comfortable with to help you through this. That is so important. So important. You know something needs to be done within your own thought process, and you say, oh, I keep doing this. When this happens, I get triggered. Triggers are awesome. Triggers are there to make you aware. So once you're through that point, you can go back and say, man, what a jackwagon I was. And you can and go back. And the healing part is, it doesn't matter if somebody else forgives you. If you did something that upset someone or wronged someone and you go back and you apologize and it comes from the heart, forgive yourself first. If you're able to apologize to that person, do it whatever way you need to. If you can't physically do it with your heart and mind and let go of it. You have to let go of that energetic, downtrodden. I mean, I just got this image of like a web of root as a cape and a tent that can be around you and pull you to the earth. It's great to be grounded, but you don't want to be so grounded that you can't move. Hampered comes to the mind. All right. So I think I put this next part in something that I recorded on another day. This came in on January 8th. I'm gonna have to review it because I don't know. And it was about NPCs, and I know I'm gonna do a little thing tonight about NPCs, and I still have to meditate a little bit on what this is. So I have to kind of go through that. And then now January 9th, which was Thursday. And this actually ties in, now that I'm looking at it, it really ties into this whole thing of uh, programming and deprogramming ourselves. It would be good to be able to help you deprogramming the things that aren't helping you. A lot of people say what no longer serves you, but if it ain't helping you, I ain't gonna say, yeah, let's hang on to that, right? All right, so how to deal with someone else having a different opinion. Yeah, most people you end up wanting to get like in screaming matches, have been there, and even recently. But when we get angry, upset, or argue because somebody else has a different opinion than we do, it's time that we step back and take a second look at our paradigm and program structure of ideas and a series and theologies. We also need to look at what it is that is getting you angry. And is it that topic? Is it that person? Because you even have to look at that. It might not necessarily even be what you're talking about. It could be that person, because sometimes it's not what you're discussing, but it's who you're discussing it with. Just say it. We got to kind of get over that kind of stuff. So this is really interesting. I've been trying to, when I sit down and do some other, things about, you know what, I think, okay. So this is something that's going to be saved for something else. And it's about um, cosmic foam, something astral, and physics. So I gotta meditate on that a little bit more because it's kind of heavy. So given that with deep programming and recentering ourselves, because we got some shenanigans that are going to be coming up over the next God knows how many months, people are saying, well, this is going retrograde and this one's coming right and da 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 da. It's irrelevant if you don't have a solid grounding and a foundation of who you are, if you even know what that is. I'm still working on that myself. So let's switch to the second segment here. And I've already done a little bit of a meditation on the cards. It takes me about 15, 20 minutes to do that. Nothing really came through. I am going to switch to the other camera. There you go. It's going to twitch a couple times, but this camera has actually been really, really, really good. Pardon me, but I am going to take a sip of my coffee and I am going to drink it right down to the last drop. I should have showed you this. I'm going to put it over here after I take my sip. I've only been in my current position for about 3 months. And my staff was wonderful enough to give me that coffee mug. And it's beautiful. It's a hand warmer. Check that bad boy out. Look at that. You get your nice hot drink in there and your hand wraps around. How cool is that? So I think I'm going to paint on it. The only thing that's holding me back is this. I'll show you. I got some apple cider and I put some ice in there with the apple cider. But that I painted that. It's just a plain black mug. The problem is, something. This has to be something you can put in your dishwasher, and I can see a little bit of it came off. It looks like it got scratched. Maybe it got moved around. But if anybody wants anything personalized, let me know. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that because it's not free to do all this, you guys. So just put it that way. I don't know if you're going to hear my chair rolling over. Oh, there goes my knee. All right, so settling in with what the unified field and the field of one is going to tell us, I am going to move my my microphone on to the table. Careful not to knock anything over. I'm in tight quarters here. Gonna take another wee sip. Okay. So I would like to ask the unified field, the field of one, because this is the originator. This is the original thought and word from the original source, the unified field, the field of one. And I feel like that we are clearly seeing, hearing, and speaking all for the highest good when we access it from the original thought, because I believe that's what it is. It's a thought. Really, maybe it's the source with the thought and the spoken word. And this allows us to see, hear, and speak. So what is it that this unified field of one, would have us know for this coming week? Because there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the world, not just in the United States. I'm in the United States, and I guess it's the Midwest, but most people think of Michigan as, I don't know where they think of Michigan. Maybe if somebody wants to shoot me a message, you can have a wee discussion about that, right? All right. Thank you so much. And I apologize. I'm not really good at verbalizing what I hear in my head, but I am going to do better at that. So, one of the things with interviewing, we are interviewing for staff, is the one thing that when you're a direct care person for people struggling with mental illness or individuals who are maybe like Asperger's or Down syndrome, this is the one thing you cannot teach. You cannot teach compassion. You have to have that within your very core. And I hope this activation, this sacred geometry that you see, will help you draw in more compassion into your life. And that's not necessarily for others. It's also, it has to be within yourself first. First card, compassion, right? And when I say we, I should say we, because I am also part of all of us. So the frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment. Wow. 100%. And without judgment, and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. You know, some people don't believe in unconditional love. Some people don't believe in the word love. And again, that is a programming paradigm, and it is not anything to be used as a judgment on another individual. It is definitely something that when you do have something that is unconditional, it's irrespective of your own experiences, because somebody else's experiences are different than yours. Always. You may have similar, but different. All right, that's awesome, because when we are in this place of compassion without judgment, this is what is created. Coherence. I hope that this sacred geometry allows us to have coherence within ourselves that we can manifest out. So the frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for an optimum ability to create the reality that we desire. And be careful what you desire. But that should be another chapter. So we're all looking to manifest success. All right. So, okay. So, hey, this is like how my head works. Let's switch to something. I used to watch Monty Python, and what was the thing that they would say on some of those? And now for something completely different. Yes. Let's take a look at this. Let's not be concerned about money. And a lot of times, manifestation isn't necessarily at money, but it's also about success and manifestation. So maybe by finding compassion for ourselves, coming in alignment with others, we can manifest success. This will, in and of itself, that's the back of the card, manifest success, right? I hear 1, 2, 3. Manifesting money, reaching your goals, and financial assistance. So this is going to take hands-on work, and you might need a little bit of help. We might need a little bit of help for getting that job, whatever it is that you're seeking, because we're all seeking something that will provide us some sort of stability, right? Oh, crap. Another one. Didn't even see that. Sorry. Help out. Allow compassion. Oh my gosh. Can't make this up, y'all. Allow compassion to guide your decisions. Your kindness will be returned to you with interest. I love this card. I love it. I see the crown, the crowning glory, but it does not reach the tip of the fingers. But this is definitely a card of compassion. Look at that. Right? How cool is that? Wow. Love it. Absolutely love it. And coherence doesn't mean you have to agree or align with somebody else's ideas. All it means is that you don't even have to be accepting. All you have to do is realize that they are on their own individualized journey. Individualized. All right. I'll take that. Oh, come on. All right. So there is actually two decks that I did not clear prior to this, and they're over there out of the camera sight. And I'm told that after this one, it's time to profit, divine timing, seize the moment, waiting period, temporary work, or laid off. So we're going to have to take a wee rest on something that we've been trying to manifest so other things can manifest in our lives. Give me a second here. So we are going to have to watch, and it's not just, yeah, it is divine timing, but we'll be able to see it. We'll be able to see it. And we'll know when we're going to get that help, and we're going to know when we need to do it ourselves. Right. And I don't know why they're asking me. All right, so I'm going to ask, is it okay? So it's all of them. So I'm going to turn that around so you can see what that is. Sorry, I have to kind of reach over. And then we have some of my favorite cards. And they kind of have like a little kind of, yeah, it's like the little fly is there. Anyway, are you kidding me? All right, maybe that will come up. I just saw a card with money on it, so I don't know if that's going to come up. Sorry, I am going to be working on getting a different cloth because this one, as beautiful as it is, it gets rumpled up too easy. I'm going to turn this around just for me. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this. All right, so from the original word, from the original thought, from the original source, from the field of one, from the unified field, we clearly are seeing, hearing, and speaking all for the highest good, right? And that's ultimately what I do in the clearing of the cards. Y'all can send me a message if you'd like to see the full rendition. I do edit this down when I put it on Rumble, but there may sometimes be more involved with it. So what is it that you're trying to let us know about this watching and compassion and compassion, twice compassion? And we're gonna, oh golly, it feels like it's like out of control. All right, so maybe we need to kind of get a grip on it. Get a grip on what's been going on. Remembering who we are is going to be the biggest problem, biggest challenge. Pardon me, that was old programming that said problem. Because we don't have problems, we have challenges. We don't have issues, we have challenges. 3. All right, so something is going to come up that we're going to have to say no to. Okay, we're going to have to say no to whatever this is that's coming up. And we're going to want to say yes. Otherwise, they wouldn't be reminding us that we need to say no. We need to say no sometimes. And that could be a very compassionate response. No can be a very compassionate response. And yes, sometimes it can take effort. It can take effort. It can feel very, very difficult, but that's not a bad thing. When you go to the gym and you push yourself to the point where you're going to be sore the next day, was there a benefit to that or no? One more. And it's not going to do it by itself. All right. It's something we are all going to have to do, not necessarily by ourselves, but it's going to be something that we're going to have to. Wow, there's two things here. There is a making sure that you are doing what you need to do so you don't have to rely on others. But when you have that, where they are going to help, that you're going to be open to that. If that makes sense, I hope. Okay. Just like, all right, whatever. So this is smoky quartz that I have on this. Very cool stone. I understand that there are some very cleansing properties with that. A lot of it is to help clear negative energy. So let's start from the beginning, shall we? I have to kind of shift something over here because it fell, pardon me. All right, so we do have to go from the unified field, from the field of one and the original thought, the original word, the original source. And we are clearly asking, we are clearly seeing, hearing, and speaking, all for the highest good. So they already gave us two. Oh, pardon me. Is that two? Yeah, it's only two. Might be three, might be more, is whatever is going to be thrust in our direction. Thank you so much. It's beautiful here, and we're hoping that this will help you as well. Okay, that one needs to come first. You know, I don't do reverse. I feel like the energy that presents itself in each one of these messages. Okay, so separate and aside from making sure that we know what to say no to, we are going to actually have this new cutting edge opportunity. And you're going to know it. We are going to know when to say yes. I don't even know how else to really, okay, that's done. Shut up. All right. I told myself to shut up. That's funny. Oh my gosh, yes. And it is going to take some willpower. An important achievement is worth the effort. So again, it's not going to necessarily be easy, but it's going to be something that we can do. And that doesn't sound very compassionate, but that's what I'm saying. This is something that we all kind of have this. All right, so something got brought to my head about the chariot being a symbol of authority in the tarot, and that not to be speeding. I have heard this also from a couple other people, but it's being brought to mind because I have to say it if it's being brought to mind. So be careful of how you're driving, especially where I'm at, where there's snow and slick roads. So when I shut down from here, I'm going to go out and I'm going to be shoveling my drive for the next 2 hours. Yeah, one shovel at a time, right? So this is about quality. This is about being almost complete, but also about patience and compassion with ourselves. And we need to remember that sometimes we get a little downtrodden, and if we are remaining focused, we'll get it done. We will definitely 100% get it done. Sometimes I feel like there is more. Thank you so much. Finally giving me a deck that I already cleared, and we can start right into it. And what else is it that could be helpful for us with managing what's going on in our lives? This is, of course, timeless. And this is going to find you when you find it. And it's going to be very relevant for you. Okay. One more. Ah, look at that. Dang. One, two, three, four. Right. Don't, you know, this is not a reality for you, is what I'm hearing. A lot of people say that, oh my gosh, I'm left out in the cold and da, da, da. This is what I'm hearing is, this is why it's important to remember in interpretive. I almost didn't want to say that. I don't know why. But you have to be interpretive when it comes to these things. And it's like, this is not you. It would be like this. This is not you. But what it is a reminder of, to stay away from abandoning yourself and realizing that you have all the resources that you need. May not be what you want, but it's what you need. You might actually be turning your nose up at some things, and this is how you're viewing yourself, as poor and outcast. I have to tell you, man, we're all outcasts at some point in our life, but this is for personal growth. That was a mom sort of a moment, wasn't it? Wow. What is it going to take? It's going to take strength. That's it. I mean, that's all you can really say. You have the strength to overcome your obstacles and your challenges. Again, if you don't feel like you have those things, right? Ask for help. I actually responded to somebody's thing on I think it was Facebook, about making sure you ask for freaking help. Don't just sit there and say, I'm suffering. When you're saying that you're suffering, just putting it on social media is an outcry for help, in my opinion. It's not about saying, I've been through that. Great. That's great. You have camaraderie there. But this is about not staying there. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to be depressed. It's okay. It's okay. Just don't stay there. Don't stay there. Right? I'm very I have to say this, because this is what I mean, my guys must have a really good sense of humor, because it's making it very awkward for me right now. It's a phrase, and I'm going to reverse the phrase, and it's out, and then, like balls. And that's kind of what she is. She doesn't care what other people think. She's seated. I don't know yeah, she's seated. She's grounded. Wow. Wow. I heard rod of power, strength, fiery. I'm not going to say some of the other stuff. That's okay. But there's a limitation that people are still dealing with when it comes to this. And this is why it's going to take the fire. The fire is going to create the new beginning. And I know you don't see fire there, but that's what this means to me. As a fiery energy. She's a fiery energy. Huh. Okay, I thought I was getting near the end. Sorry, dog is like freaking everywhere. All right. That was quick. Thank you so much. They read my mind, no surprise, that I'm feeling pinched for time. And again, I have to remain open to interpretation of, there's a traditional sometimes comes through and other times it does not. This is telling me there's collaboration in the background that is covered by things that you don't see or aren't fully aware of. You might have a shadowy idea of what's going on to help you get help, to tap into that compassion that you have. Wow, that's what it's going to bring up. You're going to be, the word is sated, S-A-T-E-D, and you're going to be saturated with bounty. You're going to be so ready for it. Why am I excluding myself all the time? I want part of that party. But yeah, and this is all centered. Look at what's in the center of that cup. And what do we see here? What do we see here? We see there is strength. Strength in numbers is what I heard. So watch, be ready for the hand of aid. You're going to help and you're going to be helped. There's going to be compassion. It's going to take willpower, but it's going to happen. Again, more fire. More fire, but this is youthful fire. So let's not be too rash in our decisions, but also remember that we have the ability to center ourselves. I like it that this star is centered above, I guess it's supposed to be a horse, but the word beast came in, right? If that makes sense. I'm asked to do one more. From another deck. Okay. So there's definitely a theme here of compassion, self-love, self-care. There's definitely a theme here. From the top, from the top, from the bottom. Any more? No. Are we finished? Maybe. The maybe comes through because sometimes we don't always get what they're trying to tell us, right? Oh my gosh. Strength. Remember your strength. Look at all the flowers around this lady. Right? Grounded. She's very grounded. Holy crow. That's 3 times. That's the universe telling us. And that there's this centered abundance. Not just money, but also supplies and things that we need to live our daily life. We have to be open to that helping hand, and that could be of wisdom. We're going to have tap into that strength to watch out for the opinions that aren't necessarily going to be helpful to us. Sorry, I had to cough. But we are going to be, this needs to be in the center. Okay, thank you. This is the circle. We are creating our own circle, both above us, below us, and around us. This is a circle of support that we'll all be receiving and that we all already have access to. I'm going to slide back. So I'd like to thank everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for stopping by. Do like, share, and subscribe. And I will meet you on